guys. So nice to meet you.
Well, I had I knew when you were in high school, you were going to be something.
You know what? I thought we're good. I did see
Good morning and welcome to the 22nd Annual Hall of Fame induction ceremony for Beloit Memorial High School. A special thank you to Mr. Behrens and our Beloit Memorial Band. Today, we are gathered as a Purple Knight family with our distinguished guests with a dual purpose. First, to honor and recognize the accomplishments of a fellow Purple Knight, Mr. Gene Van Galder, a 1966 graduate. As you will soon learn, his selfless giving both to the educational profession and to a more global community has allowed him to reach far beyond the boundaries of our own community and ultimately touch millions of lives. Secondly, we are also gathered here today as a Beloit Memorial community to give those of you sitting in the bleachers a glimpse into the future, your future. You are building the foundation of your life during your 4 years here at Beloit Memorial. Your future is not yet written. Within each of you lies the power to impact the world around you, to do something remarkable, and to achieve what some would argue is the greatest accomplishment, to improve the world around you and leave it a better place. Beloit Memorial's Hall of Fame inductees reach back now 22 years and range from honorable war veterans to mathematicians to law enforcement officers and leaders and more. These honorees have inspired, led, coached, and influenced. With each of these individuals, what they all have in common is what all of you have and can have at some point in your life, and they have all sat where you currently sit now, and have probably shared many of the same thoughts, hopes, and fears about the future. I challenge all of you today to listen to Mr. Van Galder and to use his words to inform your own choices as you move forward and finish out your time at Beloit Memorial as a Purple Knight. Being a Purple Knight is an honor and a privilege, and it is my distinct pleasure to welcome home one of our own today by honoring Mr. Gene Van Galder. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you your senior class president, Caleb Pulley.
Hello, my name is Caleb Pulley. I'm your senior class president, and today it is my distinct honor to introduce to you the platform guests for this year's Hall of Fame ceremony. First off, we have board member Noah Gard. Board member Missy Henderson. Board member Mike Ramsdale. Dr. Pam Kiefer. Superintendent of Beloit Schools, Dr. Tom Johnson. Beloit Memorial High School Principal, Dr. Tina Salzman. Program Principal, John Kaminsky. And lastly, Director of Alumni Services, Mr. Fran Frusen.
Gene Van Galder was born in Beloit, Wisconsin on October 4th, 1948 to Russell and Marjorie Van Galder. He attended Todd and Roosevelt schools and was a 1966 graduate of Beloit Memorial. While at Beloit Memorial High School, he served as class vice president, was a member of the Student Senate, played football, basketball, and baseball. In football, he was selected All-State and was honored as the most valuable player in the Big Eight. He received his Bachelor of Arts from the University of Richmond, Virginia, and has a Master of Arts in Teaching from the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, and graduated Phi Kappa Phi in 1981. Gene married his wife Connie in 1970, and they have 3 children, Christina, Tammy, Stacy, and 8 fabulous grandchildren. He came back to Beloit Memorial to teach and became department chair during the period 1970 through 1978. In 1978, he moved to Janesville Parker to teach and become their head basketball coach. 1982 saw him return to Beloit Memorial to teach and serve as head basketball coach of the Purple Knights. He twice took his team to the WIAA state tournament and was 3 times voted Big 8 Coach of the Year. In 1973, as coach of the American Legion baseball team, his team won the state tournament, and he retired from coaching in 1994 from Beloit Memorial in 2005. Gene has provided noted ministerial service at Afton Community Church, Second Congregational Church, First Baptist Church, and First Congregational Church through the years 1978 to 2014. As owner of Van Galder Corn Central for 23 years, he provided jobs for thousands of young people. In 2009, he started Van Galder Tours, guiding people on trips throughout the United States and the world from Europe to China. Gene is a great hiker, hiking the entire Appalachian Trail, all 2,181 miles from Georgia to Maine. He also hiked Mount Kilimanjaro, 1,941 feet, in Tanzania in January of 2014. He serves as president of Friends of Paul's Computer Institute in Bamenda, Cameroon. The program received over $1 million to support the transfer efforts of thousands of pieces of computer equipment. He has raised over $1 million to build the finest computer institute in West Africa. And for his work in this area, he received a certificate and Medal of Victory for outstanding leadership from the World Vision and Education Department. He has also been actively involved in the Good Shepherd's Orphanage in Bamenda. Gene is currently the president of Beloit Regional Hospice, where he has served on the board for 9 years. As a member of Rotary, he has received the Paul Harris Award for his involvement in Africa, and he served on the first board of directors of the Angel Museum and has also served as its president. Gene is a guest lecturer on presidents, historical eras, and personalities, and in 2006 he started the Gene Van Galder Scholarship for youth interested in pursuing studies in history. Gene Van Galder has brought great honor and distinction to Beloit Memorial High School. Please help me in recognizing Mr. Gene Van Galder. You may please be seated.
I'm not exactly sure why they're recognizing me. I came to this high school in 1963, and I did not get out of here until 2005. I spent 40 years in this high school, and finally I graduated, and I am humbled by what's happening today. Being a history teacher, I guess it's only natural that I look to the past and relate it to the present. In 1963, I sat in this very gym. We had a hootenanny. You guys go to hootenannies, don't you? No? A hootenanny was, they brought in folk singers, and they would sing folk songs, and we were all here as love and peace. It was the era of the 1960s, after all. And then came the Beatles, and the school was just going crazy with Beatlemania. And as I was leaving the school, they were talking about rap and genre music, and something so completely different than that which I knew. In 1963, when I came to this school, at our house, we had a black and white television with an antenna. And the youngest child was the remote control. We got 3 channels, 2 out of Rockford and 1 out of Madison. Today, with cable and all the games and all the things that we have, what a change. In 1963, I was in this very building on November 22nd when John Kennedy was assassinated. And how difficult that was. I saw teachers openly weeping. I saw a community devastated. Adding on to that, the assassination of Martin Luther King, a little bit later, Robert Francis Kennedy. Tough and turbulent times. And now, I was in this building on September 11th. My wife called me and she said, "You better turn the TV on." An event that has truly changed our world. When I was your age, we had the rotary phone. You would go, wait for it to come back, wait for it to come back, wait for it to come back. You have smartphones that you can access all the knowledge on the internet, anywhere in the world. When I was graduating from this high school, we were in the midst of the Vietnam War. And Sergeant Bell was a member of that, and my brother Kurt was in that, and a number of others in that. And that was a tough time. Hundreds of thousands of Americans in the streets protesting. It was a time of agitation and wonder and challenge of what are we doing. And now we're in a different war, aren't we? A war on terror that plagues the world. In this school, when Ellen Shepard went up in space for the first time in suborbital, we were in space. And while teaching here, we looked at space shuttle. I had to explain the Challenger disaster to my students, what happened. But through it all, the Hubble telescope made great changes, all within this short lifetime of mine. When I sat where you're sitting now, upon graduation, 1 out of every 3 students got married within a year. I want you to think about that for a minute. 1 out of every student, 3 students got married within a year of graduation from high school. It's a little different today. I think the average age today is 27, and people are thinking and reflecting and doing. To the girls who are here, when you came to school, and I did in 1963, you had to wear a skirt. You had no options. No skirt, you went home. To the guys, you had to wear something that many of you don't know. It's called a belt. It's something that holds up your pants. And when I was in school here, if you forgot your belt, you had to go down to the office and put string around your waist and tie it. Today, it's a little bit more diverse as we look around. When I came to this high school in 1963, there was segregation that plagued this great nation of ours. De jure segregation in the South, by law, de facto segregation in the North. The idea of an African American becoming president of the United States was as remote as Alaska is from Beloit, Wisconsin. And yet, after these years, we've elected an African American as president. We're still not to the point in the race relations that we need to be, but we've come a long way. As I stand before you, there are people that I need to thank. I need to thank my parents. My dad was a pilot, and probably the greatest impact of my life came from my mother, who was an amazing woman in so many different ways. She raised 8 children, 2 sets of twins. She was the first woman in Wisconsin to teach ground school, which is about aviation. One of the first women to get a pilot's license. Ran the mall, wrote 2 books, and she was always my inspiration. I had great siblings. My brothers are here today, and all 3 of them had a tremendous impact on my life. The person that I think I owe so much to is my wife, Connie. You know, when I would win some games and I would get a loop, yeah, she's worth it, yeah. If I would win a number of games in a row, or we were going the state, and I got a little puffed up. She knew exactly that maybe I better come down a little bit. And when I lost and times were tough, she knew how to pump me up. And I guess we've had a great partnership for so many years, and I can't thank her enough for all that she's done and is doing for me. One of my mentors and heroes is right here on stage with me. It's Fran Frusen. They just built a building for us. It is this gentleman that gave us the phrase Purple Nights. He brought that in. And Fran was my teacher. He was my coach. And when I got done, I said, that's what I want to do. I want to be like Mr. Frusen. Except maybe I don't want to be quite as, shall we say, hectic. Frenetic as Mr. Frusen. Another great influence was John Heineke, my football coach. He was unable to be here. He called me. I just have to tell you this one quick story. We were playing in 1965 for the conference championship against a very good Madison West team. So we're playing, and John calls us in for the pregame, you know, and just before you go out, there's that pep talk. And he says, fellas, he says, and he started getting emotional, tears. And he said, my dad has never been to one of my games. He's here tonight. I want to do him right. I'm telling you, the team was so excited and so pumped out, we would have knocked down the door, man, and opened it up. We go out and we play this fabulous game, and we win the game. And then I came back to Beloit Memorial, and I started coaching with him. And so in 1973, we were playing another huge game. It was actually 72, playing a huge game against La Follette. We're just getting ready to go out. He's ready for his pep talk, and he says, fellas, he says, my dad has never been to one of my games. I don't know how many times he used that, you know what I'm saying? But it was a real eye-opener. The man that this gym was named after, this arena was named after, Bernie Martin. It's just amazing most of you, but to me, he was a father figure and a tremendous influence on my life. He opened so many doors for me. He was an outstanding teacher. He was an outstanding coach. I must tell you that I feel my three greatest accomplishments in life are named Christina, Tammy, and Stacy, my children. And all three of them are just amazing people. They've all gone on and done such great things with their lives and continue to do so. They're fabulous mothers and wives. They have just been truly the greatest things that could have ever happened to me in the course of my life. I think my greatest legacy might be my 8 grandchildren: Connor, Riley, Evan, Reed, Mira, Anna, Nolan, and Jake. Why don't you guys stand up for me? Just stand up. I have to tell you though, the only one I'm really disappointed in is this tall one over here named Riley. He's 6'8" and he plays at Janesville Craig. You would look so good in a purple night uniform, I have to tell you, Riley. You know, I'd like to address this to the teachers and to the staff that's here. You know, in the midst of the political atmosphere which has marked Wisconsin in the last few years, it's been difficult in the area of education in a lot of different ways. But I must tell you that when you close that door and you start teaching, you have the greatest profession in the world. David McCullough, one of the great historians of American history, stated this. He said the greatest occupation in America is that of teaching. They shape, they form, they influence, and they inspire. We should never lose track of the importance of what you do every day. These teachers are amazing. My first contract here at Beloit Memorial High School, I was paid $7,200. I had 36 students in every class, and I had a study hall of 85 students. So for my staff friends who are here, we say, you know, are we going to make it? We can make that. You know, I always tell my wife, I said, Connie, I said, if I ever make $10,000, I won't know what to do with all the money. Every time I see some of my former students, and there's a number of them that are here, and I'm so touched by their presence, I call them postcards from the past. I just want to share you two quick stories. One was I was in Port Atkinson, and we were going to the fireside, and I had to go and get something, and the clerk there turned to me, and she looked and said, "Well, Mr. Van Galder." And I go, "Hey, how are you doing?" She said, "I'm doing great." We started talking, and she said, this, and I said, "Well, what are you doing?" And she said, "Well, you should know." I said, "I should?" I said, "Okay." She said, "You know, I told you I was going to be an accountant, and you told me I should be a CPA, a certified public accountant, and I'm taking my test next week." To the teachers who are here, what you say to students matters. And when you encourage, it makes a difference. I think of a student who was very awkward, not a particularly good student, had hardly any friends in this high school, and yet we interacted very well. And I'll never forget a Christmas Eve service, and I was at First Baptist, and she came just before the service, and she gave me a little bell. It had my favorite teacher on it. You know, obviously through the tears, I recognized it's not just the winners, it's all students, because all students have needs, and all students want to be able to find meaning and acceptance in their life. I have known every principal in the history of this high school since this building was done, from Beloit Memorial, and Dr. Salzman just met you today. But outside of that, I have known every principal. In the course of that, I've seen some fabulous ones, and in particular, Jim Fitzpatrick, a man who brought, yes. A man who rejuvenated this whole school district with his energy and enthusiasm. And if you don't know, he's the guy that calls you coach. And also, I'd like to recognize other assistant principals, such as Dr. Elsie, man who came here and made such a big impact. And I could go on with names forever. But let me just say again to the teachers, to the administrators, what you do every day is so vital. Finally, to my students, I love students, I do. You guys have that vitality, you keep us young. You know, in this country, we take for granted what we have. I go to Cameroon, Africa, fair amount, in the computer institute over there. And I must tell you, I see little kids, and I know you're going to think, oh yeah, he's just saying that. I see little kids, 6 and 7 years old, walking 2 miles one way to go to school. I see families that have actually no money and yet somehow manage to come up with just enough to get their kids into some kind of vocational school, or in our case, technical institute. I see people who want it so bad, and they can't get it. In America, we've got so much to offer, but oftentimes we don't have enough people who want it that bad. I challenge you to want it that bad. I would say to you that you wonder, what does this high school do? Does it really prepare us for what we need to do? And I would say to you, there are so many people who have proven that this high school is truly one of the finest high schools in the state of Wisconsin, without a doubt. When Purple Knights go out to do something, they go the whole way. I see Lauren Sass, when he had the theater department here for many years, sensational. One of his former students, an Asian student by the name of Ned Kalu, ended up getting the lead on Miss Saigon, not in some dinner theater, but on the stage in New York City. That's the kind of people, because the Purple Knights go to the very top. Jim Caldwell, young man who played, I was privileged to coach him both football and basketball, outstanding alumnus of this school. Jim Caldwell, head coach of the Detroit Lions in the NFL. Not just that, We've got a veterinarian here today. We've got doctors for the school. But you know something? Yeah, we've got nursery school teachers. We've got people who are CNAs and RNs, all kinds of people who go out and have done such great things. And you know, sometimes you wonder if you can do it. I'll just share this one story with you. I'm hiking Kilimanjaro the last day. It's 20,000 feet. It's a long way up. And the last day you start at midnight, so you can be there when sunrise comes up. And there's very little oxygen. You have to walk real slowly, and it's very, very cold. So I'm going there, and I've got 6 hours to 7 hours to do this. And I'm going, and I'm thinking to myself, Gene, what did you think? No, what is this guy, idiot? And no one knows you're going to do this. But for some reason, I just kept putting one foot in front of the other. And I got to the top, and when that sun came up over the roof of Africa, I'm telling you, it was just magic. Sometimes you wonder if the struggle is worth it. I maintain that the struggle is worth it to get to the top, to what you want to do and what you want to see. So what is it you want to do with your life? That's a big question, and it's to actually be at a song. What are you going to do with your life? And to the students who are here, I challenge you, the Scripture teaches us to be the greatest is to be a servant, to be able to serve other people, to be able to make a difference in your time. I really think that's what all of us are called to in whatever way we can. And as you look at this, I say, what kind of a heart do you have? What kind of a heart do you have? I was hiking on the Appalachian Trail in Virginia. It had been pouring rain. I wanted to get off, so I go off, and I hitchhike. And the first pickup truck stops. I'm just sobbing, wept. It was ugly. And he said, throw your bag in and get in. And he looked at me and he said, I can take you to town, but I can't take you anyplace because I'm having an appendicitis attack. Who was my brother that day? He was my brother. So with determination and persistence, I believe you can succeed, you can do well, and you can be proud of yourself as you reflect back. Last night, our family was together, and we looked at it was the Phoenix was the name of it, but it was the equivalent of the Beloit from 1925 and 1929. And you know what? What they said in theirs is the same things that are basically in mine, and the same things that are going to be in yours, which are, it was a great meeting, we had so much fun in English class, hope to see you along the way, and all these different things. Life goes by so very quickly. And in conclusion, my travels have taken me literally all over the world, all over the United States. I've had the privilege to be in the pyramids in Egypt, the Great Wall in China, Machu Picchu in Peru. I've been to Hanoi, Vietnam, which I never thought I would get to, the Kremlin in Russia, you name it. Life goes by quickly. I just wanted to give you a reminder how quickly it goes. I just happen to have somebody that might do that. These were the end glasses at one time, and then they changed a little bit. We went to something a little different. All those change. Fashions change, clothes change. But I guess the question is, what do you have in your heart? What is it that you really want to do? Life is made up of those small decisions and big decisions. And one of the decisions I had to make in 1970 was collegiate academy, a private academy. Every student wore a tie, all the guys, all the girls had a uniform they had to wear. Very expensive to get to, and they offered me a job to teach there. And I said, no, I want to come back. I want to come back to Wisconsin. I want to come back here, involved with students who are diverse, who are different, who make up America. And that's what this high school has. And this great richness and diversity is such a blessing to all of us. We know what the world holds. And so, as I leave, today only affirms that decision I made many years ago, that I've been blessed in so many ways. And certainly one of the great blessings is to have been a purple knight then and a purple knight now. Thank you very much.
It is my pleasure at this time to introduce Mr. Jacob Truby, the director of our choir, the Beloit Memorial Choir. They will be performing a special tribute to our inductee this morning with special guest, one of our own board members, Mr. Michael Ramsdale.
we get ready to do this next piece, it's just an honor to be here to celebrate Mr. Van Galder. I was in his AP history class. He passed me, so for that. One of the projects we had to do was a book review. He had known that I was interested in going into ministry and becoming a pastor, so he suggested autobiography of Ralph Abernathy, which I did a dismal review on. I think I got a C- on it, but through his life and through his encouragement, he showed me what my dreams could be. And I'm just one of hundreds of students whose lives he's touched. Representing the class of 2002, we thank you, Mr. Van Galder, for all you've done. This song is our heart to you.
At this time, please rise and join in singing our alma mater.
Keep you bright.
You may be seated. It is my pleasure at this time to welcome to the podium Mr. Fran Cruzen, Director of Alumni Services.
Thank you. Today marks the 22nd annual Beloit Memorial High School Hall of Fame program. It's always a pleasure for me to come back to Beloit Memorial High School and be in the presence of the Purple Knight student body. I'm especially pleased and proud to be here today as the Director of Alumni Services to induct one of your alumni into the Beloit Memorial High School Hall of Fame. Gene Van Galder, by his distinguished career and service, has brought great honor and pride to the purple and white of Beloit Memorial High School. Gene, as part of your induction into the Beloit Memorial High School Hall of Fame, a plaque has been placed in your name on the Wall of Fame for all to see. At this time, I'd like to present you with your personal plaque, which reads, Beloit Memorial High School, Outstanding Alumni Award, Gene Van Galder, Class of 1966, in honor of your meritorious achievement as an alumni of Beloit Memorial High School, inducted April 23rd, 2015. We would like to also present you with this Beloit Memorial High School sweatshirt in honor to hopefully remember the school occasion, but also to be used when you're hiking those Appalachian trails or climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. So this will keep you warm in those cold travels. I also want to present you with the Big 8 Conference Lifetime Pass in honor of your great coaching career and your time at Beloit Memorial High School and your many wins in the Big 8 Conference. I also have a pack of cards and letters for your many friends who could be with you today. Congratulations, Gene Van Galder.
Thank you, Mr. Cruzen, and congratulations again, Mr. Van Galder. Your accomplishments are truly remarkable and inspiring. I would also like to thank several individuals and groups whose hard work made today possible. Thank you to our outstanding JROTC, our band, choir, and National Honor Society students. A special thank you to Mr. Fran Cruzen, Director of Alumni Services, 2005 honorary inductee into Beloit Memorial Hall of Fame, and namesake to the new Fran Cruzen Intermediate School set to open next fall. Thank you to family, friends, alumni, and veteran teachers for being here today and celebrating with us. We are happy to have you home. And finally, thank you to our student body. You have upheld the expectations of what it means to be a Purple Knight today and represented the traditions of our school and community with dignity. And for that, we thank you. In a moment, I will ask you to rise for the playing of our booster song. At the conclusion of the song, our cadets will escort our guests to the cafeteria for a reception. Following the song, faculty and students are asked to sit down and wait to be dismissed by Mr. Siles. And now please join me in rising